Hello. Good morning, friends. I am Avinash Debe, junior college teacher in physics. In the today's lecture, we are going to discuss the third topic, that is motion in a plane. We know Ray Shikshan Samstha has started with online program, that is the ROSE project, and for the 11th standard, this ROSE project is conducted by Yashwantrao Chauhan Institute of Science College, Satara. So, we'll discuss the third topic, that is motion in plane. I will share here the PowerPoint presentation and then we'll start with discussion. So, we know the name of the topic is motion in a plane, and regarding to this, we want to discuss the subtopics which are given here as the rectilinear motion. So first you should know what is meant by the rectilinear motion. Then we want to do the more detailed study of the two-dimensional motion, which is also called as motion in a plane. In motion in a plane, we want to discuss average and instantaneous velocities, average and instantaneous acceleration, equation of motion for the object with uniform acceleration, relative velocity, and the projectile motion. We know circular motion, it is also the example of two-dimensional motion. So we want to discuss uniform circular motion, and under that point we want to discuss the period, radius vector, and expressions for centripetal acceleration. Now, if you observe, this is the representation of one type of motion. We know the motion is nothing but change in position of an object. So this is a one type of motion, that is the linear motion. So if you observe the car, it is moving along a straight road, along a straight line. So this is an example of the linear motion. Now again you can observe, this is the another example of motion which is called as the projectile motion. अशा पद्धतीची एक्झाम्पल आपण दररोजच्या जीवनामध्ये पाहिली असतील. So that object will lift in the air and again after covering certain distance it will come back on the earth surface. या पद्धतीची उदाहरणं आपण आपल्या अवतीभोवती शोधू शकतो की ज्याच्यामध्ये काही वेळ वस्तू हवेमध्ये राहणार आहे आणि परत ती अर्थ सरफेस वरती येणार आहे. Such motion is called as the projectile motion. Now again you can observe in this motion which is of circular motion. We know there are different examples: the motion of moon around the earth, the motion of electron about the nucleus, and all the planetary system you can observe in which the objects are moving in a circular fashion. So this is also the example of two-dimensional motion. Now also we are familiar with this example which is nothing but oscillatory or the vibratory motion. So the explanation or this diagram gives you idea, that is the motion of the simple pendulum, which is to and fro motion about its mean position. Similarly, you will find this is also the one different type of motion, which is called as the rotational motion. So in case of the rotational motion, axis of rotation plays very important role. So you will observe here, that is all the particles are moving about its axis. In this slide you will find this is a random motion in which the butterflies flies in any direction without their controls. So these are the different types of motion which we have observed with the help of the diagrammatic representation. Now we want to discuss about the detailed information regarding to these points. Now in the study of motion, you should know actually there are two positions of the object. One is called as the motion and second is called as the rest. So whenever there is a changing position of an object with the surrounding, it is called as the motion. And we know there are different examples, that is the motion of earth around the sun, motion of the stone falling freely from the roof of building, and these are the motions which can be explained mathematically by using a certain terms like displacement, distance, velocity, speed, acceleration. Now when we consider the body is rest, then we know there is a no changing position of an object with the surrounding. The body is said to be at rest. For the study of the motion, we always consider the object as the point mass. So the distance traveled, when we say the object is having the point mass, that is the distance traveled by that object is a very large as compared to its dimension. So that object is considered as the point mass object. Now in the study of the motion, the frame of reference plays the very important role, and we know the frame of reference, it is given with the mutually perpendicular coordinate system. So this coordinate system will explain the position of the object, and when we consider whether the object is at rest or in motion, it is explained with respect to the frame of reference. So as we consider the frame of reference, depending upon that, you can decide, that is whether the object is at rest or in motion. So एक एक्झाम्पल या ठिकाणी आपल्याला दिलेलं आहे की एक मूव्हिंग कार आहे आणि त्याच्यामध्ये ड्रायव्हर बसलेला आहे. So in this example, you can observe the motion of the driver. If we consider it is an observer of car with respect to car. So observer is driver and car is considered as the frame of reference. So as car is frame of reference, then driver is observed at rest position. Now if we consider the second example, that is a passenger standing on the platform, observes a tree on the platform is at rest. So here passenger is considered as the observer and the tree, it is considered as the frame of reference. So with the frame of reference, you can decide whether the object or the observer is at rest or in motion. Now the third example is also given here, that is the passenger in a moving train feel at rest, but the passenger on the platform feel train is in motion. So here again we are comparing this, that is a passenger in a train, they feel rest, but when the passenger on the platform they observe to the train, they look like as train is in motion. So you will find here that is it is a relative terminology. Now for the explanation of the different types of motion, like one dimensional motion, two dimensional motion. In this topic, initially you should know what is meant by the one dimensional motion. Now we know the one dimensional motion is represented with only one axis, that is horizontal axis, it will be the x axis, or the vertical axis, it will be the y axis. Now in this slide, if you observe, then it is representing the motion of the object along a straight line. So all these are the examples related to the motion in one dimension. Now if you observe the first figure, which gives you the number line, that is positive x-axis and negative x-axis. If object is moving along the horizontal axis, it is said to be in one dimensional motion. Similarly, in the second diagram, the motion of the two dimensional is shown, that is x and y. These are the two planes which are shown here, and that is the object is moving along a straight line. In the third diagram, if you observe, that is a ball, when it is thrown in upward, it will move in a downward direction along a straight line. So because of the force of gravity, so this object is also moving along a straight line in a vertical direction. Now when we consider, that is the motion in a plane, so that is related to the motion in two dimension. So we know the projectile motion and the circular motion, these are the examples of two dimensional motion. Now in this diagram, the motion is shown of, that is cricket ball in air. So when the ball is hit by the batsman and when ball is moving through the air, definitely it will move in the such trajectory or the path in air called as the projectile motion. So this motion is shown with the help of the three coordinate system. So when we consider motion in a plane, then two coordinates are sufficient, that is x and y axis. Okay, so you should remember, again there are different types of examples, like the football kick in air, which is an example of the motion in two dimension also. That is a bullet fired from the gun, it is also the example of motion in two dimension. Now there are different types of motion, as already I have told you, that is a one dimensional motion, two dimensional motion and three dimensional motion. So how we can differentiate between this one dimensional, two dimensional and three dimensional motion? Now out of three coordinate system, if the position of object is explained with the help of only one coordinate axis, so that is taken as the one dimensional motion, which is single axis, it may be of x-axis or y-axis, it is sufficient to specify the position of the object. It is called as the one dimensional motion. So that is object falling under gravity or any object which is moving along a straight line. These are the example of one dimensional motion. In case of two dimensional motion, that is the two coordinates. They are specifying the position of the object with respect to time. So such motion, it is called as the two-dimensional. And in this topic, we are going to discuss the projectile motion and the circular motion, which are the example of the two-dimensional motion. In a three-dimensional motion, we know all the three coordinates specify the position of the object changes with respect to time. So such motion is called as the three-dimensional motion. And example, if you observe, then random motion of the gas molecule, a flying aeroplane, flying birds, a flying kite, आणि मगाशी आपण जे काही एक्झाम्पल पाहिलं बटरफ्लाय, it is also considered as the three-dimensional motion. Now, when we consider about the broadly speaking, the types of motion, the first type is taken as the translatory motion. The name itself gives idea about that. The object changes its position with respect to time. So the name itself gives you idea about that, translatory motion. In the previously we have seen some slides. याच्या अगोदरही आपण काही सुरुवातीला स्लाइड्स दाखवल्या होत्या. त्याच्यामध्ये तुम्हाला डिफरंट एक्झाम्पल्स आपण दाखवली होती. त्याच्यावरून तुम्हाला या तीन वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारच्या मोशन्स आहेत त्या लक्षात येऊ शकतात. ट्रान्सलेटरी मोशन मीन्स ऑब्जेक्ट चेंजेस इट्स पोझिशन विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू टाइम. Rotatory motion, that is the object is moving about its axis of rotation, that is the rotatory motion. And vibratory motion, which is nothing but the oscillatory motion. The object is moving to and fro about its mean position or up and down about its mean position. The motion of simple pendulum is considered as the vibratory motion. The rotation of the earth about its own axis considered as the rotatory motion. And for the translatory motion, that the any vehicle which is moving along the road can be considered as the translatory motion. Now in case of the translatory motion, again the three different types are given, that is the rectilinear motion, circular motion and the random motion. So in all these motions, the object changes its position. Now the first one, rectilinear motion. Rectilinear motion is also called as simply linear motion. The object is moving along a straight line. Such motion is called as the rectilinear motion. For example, the vehicle is moving along a straight road. It is example of rectilinear motion. Second example is given as the circular motion. Now the object is moving along the circumference of circle. Such motion is called as the circular motion. Already I have provided you the diagrammatic representation. What is the example of circular motion then? Any object which is moving along circumference of circle. Motion of moon around the earth, motion of electron about the nucleus. These are the few examples of circular motion. The third one given as the random motion, that object will move in any possible directions. There is no such way is decided. So you can consider the free motion. Free motion, that is motion of the birds, motion of the flies, all it is considered under this random motion. Motion of butterfly, it is also shown in the previous slides. So these are the few types of the different motions. Now we want to explain about the rectilinear motion. That is, we know rectilinear motion is also called as the linear motion. So one diagram is shown here in which it is taken along the x-axis. So it is the motion considered along the horizontal direction. Now when we consider the detailed discussion regarding to the rectilinear motion, so some terminology, basic terminology you should know, like displacement, velocity, acceleration. And for the study of the rectilinear motion, we can use the concept of the vectors, because we know the vectors are nothing but those physical quantity which can be explained with magnitude as well as the direction. So you have to observe this diagram very carefully, and in this diagram, that is, you will find x1 and x2. These are shown as the position vectors from the origin of the number line. So observe, point P is shown here. Position vector is given as x1, and for point T, the position vector is given as x2. So you have to remember this diagram very carefully so that you will get the correct explanation regarding to the displacement, velocity and acceleration. Now, when we want to do the study of the such physical quantities, then we are considering these position vectors, and initially we explain about the first terminology as a displacement. So recall the previous diagram. The object is moving along the straight line, and let us consider x1 bar and x2 bar be the position vector at time t1 and t2. Then how we can find out the displacement in this case? We know displacement is nothing but difference between the position vectors of object at two different times, that is at two instants. So how we can find out the displacement? You can take the difference between their displacements. So the displacement is given by delta x is equal to x2 bar minus x1 bar. Now the displacement is nothing but the shortest distance between initial and final position. As we know, displacement is a vector quantity and its direction is always along the line of motion. We know its unit and dimension also, because displacement, it is related to distance. So SI unit is meter and dimension will be the L raised to 1. Now as we know the displacement, similarly we'll explain about the second terminology like path length. Now what is a path length? The actual distance traveled by the object during its motion. So this is the concept also related to the distance traveled. So this is the scalar quantity, and SI unit and dimension is the same as a displacement, that is meter and L raised to 1. Now one example is given here. If object travels along the x-axis, आपला जो ऑब्जेक्ट आहे तो एक्स ऍक्सिसला निघालेला आहे. पहिल्यांदा x इज इक्वल टू 2 मीटर एवढ्या अंतरावरती होता. तिथून तो पुढे x इज इक्वल टू 5 मीटर एवढ्या अंतरावरती गेलेला असेल, देन व्हॉट इज द पाथ डिफरन्स, व्हॉट इज अ पाथ लेंथ. सो यू विल फाइंड 2 पासून 5 पर्यंत जायचंय, याचा अर्थ त्याला किती अंतर जावं लागेल. सो यू विल गेट द आन्सर, दॅट इज अ डिफरन्स 5 minus 2. So path length is nothing but 3 meter. So you should remember path length is nothing but distance traveled. Now as we know the displacement, then easily we can find out the velocity. Now we know velocity is equal to displacement divided by time. Now here we want to explain two different types of velocity. One is the average velocity and second is the instantaneous velocity. Now we know the basic formula for the velocity by using the same, the displacement of an object during time interval divided by that time interval. Means simply we can say average velocity is equal to displacement divided by time. We know the formula, displacement divided by time. we can put the value of displacement, which already we know, x2 bar minus x1 bar, because what is x1 bar? Position vector at time t1. What is x2 bar? Position vector at time t2. So we can write mathematically VAV bar, which is a symbol for average velocity. अंशामध्ये येणार आहे डिस्प्लेसमेंट, दॅट इज x2 बार मायनस x1 बार. छेदामध्ये येणार आहे टाइम, दॅट इज t2 मायनस t1. सो यू विल गेट दिस इज अ एक्सप्रेशन इन व्हेक्टर फॉर्म. डोक्यावरती बार आलेले आहेत, त्यावरून तुमच्या लक्षात येईल. अगेन इट इज अ व्हेक्टर क्वांटिटी. SI unit is meter per second and dimensions are L raised to 1, T raised to minus 1. Again, one example is given here, how we can find out the average velocity. So the two positions are given, x is equal to 2 and x is equal to 4. And also respective time is given, t is equal to 0 and t is equal to 1 minute. Then what is the average velocity? We know the formula average velocity, displacement upon time. So the two positions are given, 2 meter and 4 meter. You will take the difference, 4 minus 2. And also you can take the difference of time, that is 1 minus 0. So answer comes out as 2 meter per minute. So this is nothing but average velocity.